From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop Biasi, the PrimeTime Capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It's time for the premier sports betting show. So, oh God, damn, Pop, can you put something on mute? Got the horse racing going, got my music going, got all that going. So, what's up? What's up? All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Pats upset the Steelers last night with 21-18 win, led by Zeke Elliot. Man, Zeke Elliott, I won't say he's back, but he just knows how to kill the Steelers, and that's exactly what happened last night. Zeke was able to take care of his business, do real well in that regard. And he scored the first touchdown of the game that really got everybody going. Bailey Zappi had 3 touchdown passes last night as well, too. Threw for 240. Had a 115.2 QBR last night. Zeke got 22 touches last night, 68 yards, and also had himself 7 catches, and he led all receivers last night as well, too, with but he didn't lead him in yards, but he did have 72 yards receiving as well. So all in all, last night he had 140 yards total. It looked like a vintage Zeke performance last night. And I know that was a very good moment for him because it shows that he still has it. So when he goes back on the market next year, there will be some suitors. So it's always good when you see a guy do what he's supposed to do. So with that, pretty much that would be pretty much the game. Yeah, the Steelers made a little comeback and everything yesterday. Trubisky was 22 of 35 yesterday. He wound up having a touchdown, an interception, and being sacked twice. Also led everybody in rushing yesterday for the Steelers. He had 30 yards on eight runs, and Najee Harris was very, very grounded yesterday. 12 touches, and he had 12 touches, and he had 12 touches, and he had 12 yards. 12 touches, and he had 29 yards. So pretty much that was his game yesterday as well, too. So, all right. So back to what I was talking about. You had very good effort from Deontay Johnson last night. 57 yards, 3 catches. Gray Pickens, once again, was kind of grounded last night. He had 5 catches with 19 yards last night. It just was something that just wasn't good for the Steelers moving forward. This was a real hiccup as well, too, because the Steelers were the top team in the wild card run, but right now they're starting to look like a team that's not even going to make the playoffs because now they're out. And so pretty much they're 7-6, and now Indianapolis and Houston has moved in, and you thought possibly that the South might be the weakest division in the AFC. It's winding up to be one of the tougher divisions in the AFC. But you know what? You still have the hold of the prestige of the AFC North, the one division that probably can beat any team in any division at this point. And you know what? Cincinnati loves to see this happen too because they're 6-6 at this point. Pittsburgh 7-6. This gives them a lot of faith. Denver as well, Buffalo as well too, and so it does work out pretty well. And then you got the Chargers and the Raiders still on the outside looking in. So you know what? This final playoff spot is not going to be decided until the final week of the season. Let's just all just keep it real. Let's all just get ourselves prepared for that. So all in all, the Patriots aren't doing much of anything. It doesn't matter if they won this game. This was just a good way to say that they ain't done yet. And they did exactly what they were supposed to do in that type of situation. So congrats to the Patriots for winning that game last night. And we move forward from there. All right. So we have ourselves up next. Next topic is going to be the Pacers on their way to the in-season finals after beating divisional rival Bucks 128-119. All right, so pretty much here we are. We have a very good spot, last night. Pacers take care of their business. I had the Pacers on money line last night to win the game, and I also gave out the +5.5 to my clients last night as well too. So everything worked out very well. Pacers came out. They set the table very early in the game with a good first quarter. Then also they had themselves a very good fourth quarter as well too. So they really played well to close that game last night. And this team really did take care of the quarters that you have to win when it's time to go in for the half or for the game. Second quarter they scored 36 and only gave 22 points. Fourth quarter, they gave 37 points. They scored 37, gave 25, but they did have a pretty bad third quarter where they did give up 43 points, found themselves down in this game for a moment there, and then found themselves back on top. And then they really went ahead and finished off the Bucks last night. And I've already told you guys about Tyrese Halliburton a number of times. Tyrese Halliburton was absolutely amazing last night, 27 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. Then you had Turner, who had 26 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and that was pretty good for him as well, too. And then you had Obi Toppin step it up, do something that he rarely ever did in New York, and that was huge for this team as well, too. And then you had Bobby Brown have himself a pretty good game as well, too. So everything worked out the way that it was supposed to. So they got themselves a great win last night, and they will take on the Lakers on Saturday night on ABC, and it's going to be a lot of fun from Vegas. So I'm not just going to talk about the Pacers. I got to talk about the state of the Lakers. And the Lakers last night, they absolutely crushed the Pelicans. That was embarrassing because they were talking all this, Brandon Ingram revenge game, and Larry Nance revenge game. Zion's ready to take the league over as the face of the league. Well, none of that happened last night. The Lakers wound up beating them last night by almost 50 points. That was absolutely tragic what they did to them last night. That wasn't fair, as I like to say. They beat them by 44 points last night. So, there's levels to this thing, and right now, New Orleans isn't on the Lakers level. So that's what showed up last night. Lakers had a great night. LeBron was absolutely amazing last night. One point, he hit 3 threes in a row to really put the Lakers to keep extending the Lakers lead last night as well too. He dropped 30 points, had 8 assists, 5 rebounds as well. Anthony Davis had a great night last night, 16 points, 15 rebounds. That was pretty good for him as well. And then you had Prince, who had a beautiful night. He also scored 15 points. And then you had Russell get his 15 as well too. Austin Reeves had 17 off the bench. So this was pretty good for this team. Their starting 5 did really good last night, in my opinion. And the bench did a good job of maintaining things for them as well, too. Rue Hachimura had his 12 last night, and Max Christie had 6 points last night. Jackson Hayes had 4, and also Christian Wood had 4. And Shafano got into the game last night. He made a free throw. And Maxwell Lewis got some playing time last night as well, too. He was able to hit a 3. So, the Lakers did what they did. They had a great time doing it. They really stepped on the neck of the Pelicans to ensure that there wasn't no messing around for them to get to where they want to get to, and that is to the championship game where they'll be Saturday night to get themselves possibly the first inaugural Ball Cup trophy or whatever, cup trophy or whatever it is. But it looks pretty cool. It's not big or anything like that. It's not huge, but it's going to be something that's going to look pretty nice in the Lakers trophy cabinet if they're able to win it. But it will be something that's going to be cherished by Indiana if they were to win this game. So with that, that will be a wrap on the state of the Lakers. I look forward to this game tomorrow night. I really don't want to pick a winner here because I actually like the Bucks going into this one as well too. And it's Lakers for life for me as well too. But I don't want to really go up there and really pick between the two because this is such a good game. It's really like you got to just watch it and we got to see who wins the game. That's how I feel. But if we're going to do anything, play it over. That's the bet for me here. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right. So pretty much we have ourselves the Devin Haney fight coming up. And the Devin Haney fight is going to be absolutely tremendous. The Bay is going to be rocking tomorrow night. They're looking forward to their boy coming in there and doing his thing and looking good and making sure the Bay is represented very, very, very nicely. And Regis Prograis wants to be the spoiler, the villain, the boogeyman, all that good stuff. He wants to rain on the Devin Haney parade. He swears he doesn't like Devin Haney. He wants to show Devin Haney that he's just a boy. And this is real war right here. This is going to be a great fight because I feel like Regis doesn't really understand that you're dealing with a guy who's a phenomenal athlete. You know what I mean? And I know that Devin knows that he's dealing with the guy that's one of the better boxers in that division. But, the lack of respect that Regis has for Devin might catch up with him tomorrow night. Because the thing is, you should respect your opponents. You shouldn't be trying to show off for a crowd that doesn't really care for you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, most people don't care for Regis Prograis. They just don't like Devin Haney. That's really what it is. All the big Loma fans that were so disappointed about the fight Loma lost to Devin months ago, they'll go into this one as heavy Prograis backers. And then once things get a little testy and get a little besides themselves, then they'll come up with all the conspiracies of why Devin Haney won the fight. So you can't win with them, you can't win without them. So it's a very, very slippery slope for Devin when it comes to dealing with this hater. So pretty much he got a good one tonight. They see Prograis is one of the top guys in the division. It should be a really, really good fight. And you know what? Much kudos to Devin because he went directly at the person they said is the man in the division. And you know what? This is a good chance for Prograis to really prove that he is, elite fighter. He's good at what he does, and he's just not talking. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But when I look at this fight, I feel like Devin is going to get the stoppage within 8 because Regis Prograis, it's tough for Regis Prograis to make weight. And that's where I'm going with this one is that I think that the weight issue is going to be something that's going to be very, very key in this fight. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think that Devin will figure out a way to sit down Regis Prograis because he is going to be coming in at his absolute strongest right now at 140, 135 and stuff like that. 130, he was kind of moonlighting himself to, try to get a cheap belt and things like that. But, after a while, you come to realize that your strength and your skills may lie better in a higher division. And that's exactly where he's at this point. So with that, that's going to be a wrap on that topic right there. When I get back, we'll be talking tickets. We're going to be talking NBA Friday night, but we're going to be getting through it pretty quickly. So pretty much you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper. So let's go ahead and jump into our next to NBA Friday night. They got 13 games tonight in the NBA. A lot of really good matchups tonight as well, too. Some one-sided matchups as well, too. But, you know, the NBA, all the games are 50-50 until we get the final score. So, hey, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's jump into the 76ers and the Hawks. This one is going to be pretty good. We got a 76ers team that's 13-7. We got a Hawks team that's 9-11. You have a 9.5-point spread for the 76ers tonight. You have a 235.5 over under as well, too. So how do we gauge this game? What do we do in this game? Well, we're looking at the Hawks right now. This is a team that's lost their last 4 out of 5 games. Then you're looking at the 76ers. They've lost their last 3 out of 5, including 2 in a row before snapping that quick losing streak. So, you know, both these teams are coming in here a little vulnerable. You know what I mean? 76ers real confident in themselves. The Hawks are trying to get back healthy and all that good stuff as well, too. So this is going to be a really good game, and that's all I can say. So pretty much with that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and take the over 235.5. So with that looks like it's going to be the right play for us. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it checks out, because I expect both teams to be scoring in this game tonight. So with that, we move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into our next, which is going to be the Cavs and the Heat. All right. You have a Cavs team coming in here 12-9. You got a Heat team coming in here 12-9. You have the Cavs coming in here winners of their last 4 out of 5 as well, too. And also you have the Heat losers of their last 3 out of 5, but winners of their last 2 out of 3. So, you know, it always is a tricky situation in these games, especially with these two teams. And you know what? Every time the Heat and Cavs play each other, it seems like they're not scoring a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under 235.5 in this game tonight. I'm hoping that's what's going to actually go ahead and hit for us in this spot. Now, I do expect a big night from Evan Mobley. I think Evan Mobley is going to be really good against Bam tonight, and you should play his over rebounds, his over points, and his over assist as well, too. I feel like a big one's coming from the big man here in Cleveland. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. Sorry about that. I have that still on the wrong one. All right, so yeah, we got it there, and you guys see it. And so pretty much, let's go. All right, we have ourselves the Bulls and the Spurs. The Bulls coming in here 8-14. The Spurs 3-17. You have a plus 2.5 spread going tonight in San Antonio, over under 224.5. The Spurs have absolutely been garbage the last month, and you know what? I don't care what you Wemby Aniacs want to say. Your boy isn't good. Okay, he's not playing good basketball to me at all. He's playing good me ball. You know what I mean? Selfish ball. The type of ball that you play when you play on a bad team and you don't expect to ever win. And, you know, the fact that he's lost, 16 games in a row. and you guys are going to still sit up here and scream out words like phenom and great player. I think that the NBA is really pushing the goalpost on who's good and who isn't. And I'm looking at the Bulls tonight. The Bulls want to really go ahead and send a message tonight, because everybody sees Wemby. You want to kick that guy's ass. You do. So you have a Bulls team that's won 3 in a row. They're a slight favorite tonight. We know why. It's Friday night. They're seen as an easy game for the Spurs because they don't have a winning record. These games have wound up being games that the Spurs absolutely don't win. So I'm not even hesitating to take the Chicago Bulls with the minus 135 tonight. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. So you have the Kings and the Suns. Kings and Suns. This is pretty good. You got a Kings team 11-8, a Suns team that's 12-9. The Suns coming to this one as a plus 2.5 favorite, and then you have an over under 235.5. And I'm looking at the way that this game lines up. You have a Kings team, losers of their last 3 out of 5, but one of those games was a tournament game as well, too, against New Orleans. And you just really get kind of mad because you wish that Sacramento would have played the Lakers last night, because it would have been a tougher game. It would have been a way tougher game. And then you have the Suns, who have lost their last 3 out of 5, and that includes their last 3 out of 4. So pretty much you have a team that's trying to, get back right after what happened the other night for the playing game and all that stuff, for the playoff game and all that stuff. So these teams have made some good theater this year already against each other. So I already expect that to happen again between these two, because they just go at it. The Suns and the Kings, they always play really good games, man. And I think tonight is going to be no exception to that rule. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and say tonight we take the Suns as the dog of the day, plus 125. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right. We got ourselves the Clippers and the Jazz. Clippers coming in here 10-10, the Jazz 7-14. We have a plus 7.5 point spread, over under 225.5. So this game is going to be pretty good. Well, if no Durant's in tonight, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. They're still only a 2.5 point favorite for a reason. So they feel the Suns can do something in this game. I feel like Devin Booker can score 45 points in this game. So let's go ahead and get that dog of the day home. Because last time I checked, the Kings are not that superior of a team. They're really good, but they're not superb yet, in my opinion. So you got a Clippers team 10-10. You got a Jazz team 7-14. You got two teams going in two different directions right now. And you have a Clipper team that's trying to stay above 500. They find themselves playing better basketball, winning their last 2 in a row after losing 2 out of 3. So that would mean that they've won their last 3 out of 5. Then you have the Jazz, who struggled, lost their last 3 out of 4, but they've won their last 2 out of 5. So, that's how it is. You know what I mean? Their last 2 out of 5. Even though, they're kind of struggling a little bit. But tonight, you already had a Jazz team beat the Clippers at home. They kind of own the Clippers in Utah as well, too. So this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Jazz on a plus 7.5. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it shakes out. But this should be a very, very good game tonight in Utah, in my opinion. I think that Keontae George is a guy that people have to take very seriously, because he's going to be one of the top scorers in the NBA very, very soon. And he is the guy that's pushing the cart here for the Jazz as well, too. So there it is. There it is. When I get back, we will jump into Talking Tickets. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, it's time for Talking Tickets. So you guys, are you ready? I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. All right, so here we are, Talking Tickets. Up first, let's jump into the CBB PrimeTime PK6 at 80-1. We got Harvard minus 12.5 tonight at home. We got Holy Cross in the Battle of Massachusetts at plus 22. We also have Quinnipiac, who's absolutely crushing it this year. So hopefully they can cover that 5. So I'm putting them on the board tonight. Then we got EMU, who's plus 210. And then we also have plus 10 Stone Hill. And then we finish up with the Illinois Chicago minus 125, bro. And then we move forward. Let's jump into our NBA Super High Five, which is at 26-1 today on the odds. We have the over 235.5 with the Hawks and 76ers. We also have the under 223.5 with the Cavs and the Heat. Then, as I said before, I love the Bulls tonight with the minus 135. Then we also have the Suns plus 120, and then we wrap it up with the plus 7 on the Jazz. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that's going to be our Super High Five group. And once again, when I tweet it, we'll see the exact number of the odds for it. It'll be 26-1. All right. So we go to our final group, and it's a special group, the Army-Navy football game tomorrow. I'm taking Navy with the plus 135. We're taking the over 13.5, minus 120 the first half. Also taking Navy plus half a point. First quarter minus 165. So let's get that bad boy home. And then the over 29 plus 115 alternate line, over 29.5. Actually, that would be, they would need to really get the 30. But that's the way that we go ahead and stop people from doing these big searches and things like that. Pretty much there it is. But over 29.5. Plus 115 on that alternate line. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much today. This one was tough, man. I was a little tired, man. I'm a little under the weather today. So hopefully I can get me a lot of rest this weekend and everything like that to come back fresher than ever for you guys. But, man, I thank you guys so much. You guys really pushed me through today, motivated me to do the show, everything like that. I was going to really just go ahead and take the day off today. But I really did enjoy doing the show with you guys, doing the show for you guys today as usual. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in today. As I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving. And this is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, and I'll be right back at you Monday morning. So see you then, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave